Hello everyone, and in today's video we'll have a look at the summer plume that we'll be seeing at the end of the month from the GFS, GM and ECMWF chart. We'll also have a look at the temperatures from the UKV chart at the end of this video to see this week's weather, especially the temperatures, to see what's going on. We will expect temperatures to rise up to around the mid-20s for the midweek. And also at the end of the week, we are seeing it warm up further into the high 20s or even 30 degrees. Now, we'll currently start off with the 800 HPA temperature. Normally, if you're new to the channel, this basically means that 800 HPA means 5,000 feet, so this means 5,000 feet temperature anomaly. You might be asking, what does the term anomaly mean? It means how close or how far average, or how far away or how close to the average it is on the temperature. So that's basically means what it means. And you might be asking, why not? Why don't you do it at a temperature, but you have to do it at 5,000 feet? There is actually a crucial reason to that. But the reason to that is to show you, because at 5,000 feet, those temperatures is basically air masses. And when you get air masses, it's really easy to differentiate how it's going to be like. But sometimes I do go into surface temperatures. I don't always stick at 800 HPA, but most of the time I do stick in this one just to see the air mass. So that's what it means to be 800 HPA temperatures anomaly. But you can see this scale down here. 0 means average. If you go up the scale, this is how many degrees Celsius, not Fahrenheit, but Celsius, warmer than it should be for the time of year. If you go down the scale, you can see how colder it is compared to for the time of year. So on the map, you can see there is currently actually 2 full air mass on parts of France, parts of United Kingdom, and all sorts of the UK and in Europe as well. But that is likely to expand at the end of the week, and into next week we're seeing this very, very hot air mass, nearly 12 degrees to 16 degrees above average, moving in for parts of the southern England and Wales. And as we see that moving in there, it just clutches very close towards the UK before dissipating, and we get flushed down into a northerly breeze before, again, we do get a -2, -4 degrees of anomaly. So after that very warm pool, it does go straight back down to cooler air, which we could see cooling down to start off June. But I still don't know if this one is accurate or not. So anything I say in this video might, of course, change. But with the ECMWF chart, you can see again, it does start off pretty mild with the orange colors. Again, it kind of builds up into middle to late June. And as we head into it around that time, where it's around 23rd of June on Monday, you can actually see that 12 degree or 14 degree above average temperatures of block moving in across parts of England, and mainly England, but parts of Midlands and also Scotland may also get a taste of that. You can see just moving very closely along the UK there before sweeping away. But look closely. As we see with the GEM chart, it goes down very cold and cool, but with the ECMWF, we see no signs of that. Instead, we continue to get under the low pressure cycle, which is when you get the jet stream very low, and then the low pressure just flushes along with the jet stream, which could cause a period of very stormy weather. We are likely to get trapped inside that plume of the jet stream, and those low pressure systems does look pretty nasty for this time of year. So again, if we do get under that one of those low pressure cycles, which we always do in winter, we get very heavy storms, and again we get named storms from that, but much less likely than we do in summer. But we are on a new website in GFS chart. So you can see back to the GFS chart. This is not the 800 HPA temperatures. This is 500 HPA geopotential high. Take this in simple words. This basically means low pressure or high pressure. I'm sure you've heard that word on the television. High pressure means settled weather and is indicated by red or orange on the map. Low pressure is usually stormier weather or cloudier weather, indicated green for light low pressure, dark blue or pink, or even part of black for low pressure systems if it's really severe. We only do see that in winter. As we continue this now, you can see high pressure mostly dominating the weather. We get pulled into a southerly breeze, and as we head into 228 hours ahead, we're not in that low pressure cycle yet, but high pressure extends up to Iceland, and then we get unlashed into a northerly breeze, exactly like what we did with the Wexchart's website. And then after that, we actually get trapped inside one of these cut-off low pressures, which is not built by the low pressure cycle. It's built when really you need really a perfect condition to actually form them. They usually typically form over the Atlantic and just develop and build. So these low pressures sometimes can be turning into hurricanes, but sometimes these can just really die out and they couldn't even form anything at all. Like this one just sitting over the UK, they're zooming in. You can see this is really a very dull low pressure, 1014 millibars. So what is that? That's not even anything. But with the GM chart, it's a new run. We didn't see from the Wix charts because it was unavailable. As we continue from high pressure dominating again, it stretches up to parts of Scandinavia and Iceland. And then look at the jet stream. It's actually shifted towards the Iceland area, and Iceland is being hit by that low pressure cycle. And as we continue this, you can basically see high pressure drifts further into Scandinavia and into Europe, and then the jet stream does look like it's going to sink southwards, which could potentially lead to us being trapped into a low pressure cycle, as well as Iceland and the northern counties above the jet stream. But something different goes on with the ESMWF chart. You can see a high pressure dominating the weather, like what we do with all the runs do. We get pulled in with a southerly breeze where we get that warm pool of air coming in. Jet stream still relatively high shifted, but again that cut-off low which we anticipated to appear from the FS run, which actually did appear in the ECMWF run, and then jet stream, the high pressure has actually shifted further away into Europe and Siberia, while we get another high pressure dominating part of Iceland and the UK, and then we see it forming and merging into a high pressure from the Azores. But watch out for this low pressure system, as we could see that impact on our weather as well. But it's very far away, so anything could change really. And as we continue this, high pressure most likely to be dominating the Azores, while we do likely to be trapped under the low pressure cycle if we continue to see this going on with the ECMWF run. So, because why is that? The jet stream is this black line here, and low pressure systems, you notice they're literally right on or even near the jet stream. So as it flows in and it flows out of the jet stream, these low pressures can develop as really hurricanes and really devastating low pressure systems in most likely the United States, but some of them can actually travel towards the UK. But that's really a rare occurrence, but we don't really see that from most of the runs just yet. So thank you for watching this video, and until the next time, goodbye.